Y'all, I spent 4.5 hours thrifting. I got 140 items and spent almost $700. In today's video, I'm going to show you kind of my strategy in time is money, y'all. Like getting 140 items in 4 hours to last me a couple weeks and make the most of my time. Strategies that I am using in the thrift store to make sure that I am making the biggest bang for my buck, as well as show you some highlights and why I purchased some of the items that I did in today's haul. I am not going to show you 140 items. Drop links down below if you guys do want to see more hauls to see every single item that I purchased. But I just kind of picked some highlights and things that I think are going to be super informative and help you, and things that I just really am excited from this haul. So this gives me an average cost of goods of $4.98 per item for things from a thrift store. The first thing that I do when I am going out on a sourcing trip is be mindful of my own data. And this starts with the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. This is for purchase. It's actually 50% off for January. I will leave links down below, but you can import your data here. And what I'm looking at here is my sourcing data. So what thrift stores, what bins, what liquidation, wherever you go, what is going to perform best for you? And I can look here and I know that thrift stores, I have quite a few thrift stores on here, and I look which one is giving me the highest average sale price, which one am I finding the best stuff at, as well as my sell-through rate. So what thrift stores, for the purpose of this video, I went to thrift stores, but what thrift stores, what places are giving me the best sell-through rate? And your sell-through rate, if you are new to the channel, your sell-through rate is how many items you've sold out of how many that you have for sale. So if you're buying a bunch of stuff at the thrift store, but none of it's actually selling, it's not performing that well for you. So keeping in mind how much it's selling for, but also is it actually selling? And that's what your sell-through rate is going to tell you. So I looked at my data. I knew I was going out. It was a half price day, so I knew I was going to be hitting the thrift stores. Something else, honestly, I've been going between thrift stores and the bins. I went to thrift stores because with the rise in cases and possibly thinking my kids are going to be home and not putting them at risk, I still have unvaccinated child in my house. The thrift stores, they make you wear masks. I can be 6 feet apart, where you can't really do that at the bins. So yes, the bins is a lower price, a lower cost of goods. And the thing with the bins too is you're not guaranteed. It's very difficult to, you're not always guaranteed to find this many items at the bins. It's kind of hit or miss. I knew that I wasn't going to be sourcing for a couple of weeks because I want to kind of stay out of stores and kind of let this wave pass. And I knew I had a much better chance of getting more quantity to keep me from sourcing for a couple weeks. And those are a couple of reasons that I went to the thrift store. And then the other thing I want to point out is I look at my categories. I don't look at the entire thrift store. Let me know your strategies. Do you guys go through an entire thrift store, or do you only look at certain spots? And I don't just look at certain spots based off of what I like. I mean, some of it's that, because you have to like what you're doing, but I do it based off of what gives me the biggest profit. And you can see here in this chart, we're looking at my sell-through rate. Again, how much is selling out of how much I've purchased for the past year. This kind of levels out the playing field and gets rid of seasonality and stuff like that. So I'm looking at a year's worth of data. So your sell-through rate and my average sale price, anything up in this area is it's selling well. You know, I'm selling a lot of what I have in these categories, as well as selling at a high average sale price. So these are the categories that I'm looking at. I don't go, some of the stuff over here at a thrift store, I don't even look because it doesn't perform well for me. If I'm at the bins and I find it, I'm there anyways, okay, I'll purchase it. But at a thrift store, and time is money, I don't waste my time on these places. I go to the next thrift store and see what I can find. And that resulted in 140 items in 4 hours. So the categories over here, we're looking at jackets and coats. In the past year, 64% of these jackets and coats sold for a profit. So taking out my cost of goods, a profit of almost $40. Jumpsuits, this is actually mainly new at tags. I don't find a ton of jumpsuits, but I do keep that in mind. I look at the pants section. Sometimes they're in the dress section. Bags, my sell-through rate for bags is going to be a little bit lower, but my profit is there, $46 profit. I always go to the bags. I always go to the jackets. Dresses, this is honestly mostly new with tag liquidation. I did not go through the dresses currently, my mindset being we're kind of getting into a wave again. People are going to be at home a lot more, not really getting dressed up. And then jeans, 65% sell-through rate, $26 average profit. So this is not my biggest profit, but I did a video on how to decide if it's worth selling jeans. And for me, it is because one, they take up less space, and I'm kind of out of space, so I can get more of them listed than if I were to buy like a big jacket. And also I timed myself on listing jeans, taking photos, and then having them listed for my VA, and I can do it much quicker. So while my profit is a little bit less here, I can do more of them, I can store more of them, I can list more of them, and it has a good sell-through rate. As well as if you come down here, my profit on shoes, sell-through rate's a little bit lower. I talked about it in one of my recent videos on, you know, how to be a bit more mindful. I'm going to be a bit more mindful in the shoes that I do pick up to increase that sell-through rate, make sure what I'm purchasing is being sold. But my profit, so this is taking out my cost of goods. I'm making $30 on average on shoes. So those are kind of the categories that I go to when I'm at a thrift store. Let's go ahead and jump into some of those items that I purchased. I just picked some from this haul, some things that I thought were interesting or reasons that I picked it up. This is going to be it's new with tags. I don't always pick up this brand. A couple of reasons. Obviously, it is new with tags, and then it is linen. So linen is a high quality. If it's a brand that you don't know, but it's linen, or I have another pair of a brand that I don't typically pick up, but it's linen, it's going to increase its value because it's a nice quality. Linen, silk, things like that, even cotton, organic cotton is going to be much better than if you're doing like a synthetic brand. These caught my eye right away. Tell me they're not so cute. But one of the reasons I would have contemplated picking them up, it's Zara. Well, I'll show you here. But hello, it's new with tags, which means they've never been worn. It's Zara. Zara's hit or miss. I will pick them up if it's a quality, right? And then new with tags. Those are, you know, that big chunky. I don't know how old you guys are, but you know, that big chunky was really big, like in the 90s Y2K. Definitely on trend right now. I did bring them. This is the other one, and I'm going to show you guys how to look this up. So Skechers. Skechers is a mall brand. I don't know if you say mall brand, but it's like a lower end. I mean, they have it in the mall, right? It's not, you get Skechers, you know, new sells $50, $100 depending on what you're getting, you know, like a pair of boots. These I purchased because they're on trend. These are vintage Y2K. We can't say vintage if it's Y2K, but you can say it for 90s. And then I'm going to show you how, if it's something that you're not sure of and you say, I see these a lot, or I'm hearing about it, should I do it? I'm going to show you how to look it up in Terapeak. So if you have, although they said that Terapeak is free for everyone now, I have a store subscription, so I don't know if that's true or not. Let me know down below. But if you have a store subscription, you can look up average sale prices and sell-through rates on eBay. So if you go ahead and come in here on eBay, you can see, you go to your seller hub, you go to research, Terapeak product research. I do have a full video on how to do Terapeak. I will link it down below and in the cards, but you can search here, Skechers Y2K. Y'all look at this. The average listed price is $48, but Y2K, right? So keep in mind, you can do different search keywords, but I did Skechers Y2K. The average listed price is $48. You can click on sold. 24% sell-through rate, y'all. That is killer at a $45 sell-through rate, y'all. Like normally I wouldn't pick up Skechers. I've been hearing that they were kind of on trend, right? Social media is not always correct. Full disclosure, if you see something on social media, definitely do your research and check it. And here's how you can. Y2K Skechers on point right now. If you guys see them, that chunky heel and just that style in general, you know, Doc Martens has them. I've seen, if you guys follow Amber Resells, I've seen her sell a pair of Walmart ones for, I think it was like $50. So definitely that style is on point. These are Fry. So Fry is definitely known for their Western boots, though the Western leather boots are definitely going to sell higher, but it's still a quality brand. I'm definitely being more mindful in the quality. These don't have any signs of wear, so I picked them up. I sold a pair, they're teal, but I sold a pair of leather ones like that last week for $35. So they're not going to sell, you know, $50, but they are going to move. And I needed inventory, and then y'all, can you see it? Todd's. So this is a luxury brand. I'm a little disappointed. I've sold Todd's shoes before, and they don't sell for a pair of shoes that probably cost quite a few $100s, even into the thousands, depending on which one you have. They don't always sell high. I have sold them, you know, $100-ish, sometimes a little bit lower. These are, oh, they are size 8. I thought they were a smaller size. Yeah, so they are a size 8. That's mindful too. I saw, you know, anything under like a 7, I'm very picky in whether I pick it up or not because it takes longer to move, which is fine if you have a lot of space. I don't have a ton of space. So if something is going to take long to move, I want it to have a high profit. Purses, and I can show you guys in my data, purses is going to have a longer average days on hand. Come up here and look at that. My bags, my average days on hand is 122 days. That's definitely a little bit on the high end for me. I don't mind having a purse because you all saw my profit. So I will keep it a little bit longer because it is going to have a higher profit for me. All right, those are the shoes. I got 140 items. So that's not all the shoes that I got, but those are kind of some of the ones that I wanted to show you. This one, and I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of this brand. It's called Second Layer. So I looked at it, and just based off of the label, I said, oh, that looks like a fancy brand, right? So if I see something and I don't know it, I look at the label and see if it looks fancy. And then I always look at the tag. Is it made of something of a high quality? And this is made of premium wool. So I put it in my car and I said, I'm going to look that up, and y'all, like, let me show you. I'll show you the comps on eBay. They said they're going to have Terapeak data on eBay event on the app, because it would be really nice to look up Terapeak when you're at the store. But when they don't, I just looked at the comps really quick. I just brought up the active here, but when you're at the store, you can go ahead and filter it and look at the solds. And then what you can do to do a quick sell-through rate is if you look at how many active there are. So this is saying 38 results. And if I looked at the solds and there was 38 sold, that's like 100% sell-through rate, right? So you can see, is it selling high and is it selling well? Guys, they're listed for $200. So none of these are the exact jacket that I found. The comps were, you know, around that $150, $200 sold. I decided it was absolutely worth it for me. This is how I find new brands, is by looking at that label, looking at if it's a quality fabric, and then looking it up. Oftentimes I look things up, you know, I looked up about 10 items during this trip, and I think only 2 of them panned out to be something that was worth it. But those are kind of the things that I do quickly to figure out, is this worth it, without having to look at every single item. All right, now we're moving on to pants, mostly jeans. Like I said, I like selling jeans. I can take pictures really quickly and they store quickly. So these are Eddie Bauer. I don't sell a lot of Eddie Bauer, but they're flannel lined. I don't buy Eddie Bauer is going to sell a little bit lower, but I know their flannel lined and their fleece line sells higher. And I know this because I was looking for a pair. I didn't want to buy them new because new they're like $100. You can get them on sale. So I was like, oh, I'll go to eBay and buy them. And they were still selling on eBay for $30 or $40. So Eddie Bauer, I don't buy everything from them. There's certain things that I will purchase that are going to sell a little bit higher from Eddie Bauer. All right, guys, American Eagle. This is yet another brand that, you know, it's a mall brand. It's not always going to sell high. Couple things that I look at and why I like selling it is it's going to tell you exact style here. So it helps you look it up. It helps you list it. You can look up comps, you know, keywords. It's really easy to look at. And the other thing I appreciate about American Eagle is here you can see, hold on. You see it? So on this inner tag, it might be too small to see. Where's my camera? But on the inner tag, it will tell you the date it was made. And so if you're new and you're like, I don't know if this is in style, I don't know really what I'm looking for, if it's made in the past year or two, chances are it's going to sell well. It depends on the brand, but that is a key indicator. That's something that I look for on brands or styles that I'm not really sure of. This is actually a Y2K style. It is a low rise. And if you guys can see, it's a boot cut. The boot cut is coming back. And so let me show you how I know. I'm going to go ahead and go on over to Terapeak, and I looked up American Eagle boot cut at 12% sell-through rate. Average sale price is $17. So, okay, that's not a huge average sale price, but if it has a higher sell-through rate, so on average, women's clothing is about a 5% monthly sell-through rate. So anything above that, this is double, more than double that. Yes, it's not a high average sale price, but it is going to sell. It's going to come in and out my door. I am going to be able to list it quickly. And American Eagle, honestly, is something that I find at the thrift stores a lot. If you don't find all these fancy brands, you have to work with what you have. American Eagle, I find a lot. I'm not going to make $1 zillion off of it, but in the volume game, if I can list 20 of them and sell 20 of them and they're going to sell, it's worth it for me to pick up. Let me know your guys' favorite brands to pick up too, if you have any tips or tricks. This is, let me see, can you guys see that? It's Vince. So these are Vince, again, another fancy brand. Again, the thing that I like with most pants and jeans, it tells me, this is why it's easy to list. It tells me the style number, it tells me the description, it tells me the wash, which is also helpful for cases when people are like, oh, it's a different color. I listed it, like this is the exact color it is on their brand. And then it also tells you a little bit more information to help you list and help you look up keywords, help you look up comps. So if you're just getting into this game and you're learning new things, those are tricks, and those tags are on various different items. Jeans have them a lot. Again, American Eagle, these are actually their super high-rise jeggings. I'm going to tell you, they're not selling to the extent that they used to. So I used to pick up almost any high-rise American Eagle jeans I found. They are selling a little bit slower and coming down in price. The reason I picked these ones up, you guys gonna be able to see that? Can you see that? It's $11.20. So these are a year old, right? So I knew to pick them up because they're one of the newer styles. They're not going to have a lot of wear on them. Something too, when I look at jeans and pants, when I'm all the time, but when I'm in a hurry, I always look at the belt loops, right? We pull up our pants a lot, so those often are broken. The crotch area on pants, leggings, through legs rub, so that's where you're going to get some wear. And then on the bottom as well. These are intentionally frayed. But some of them that are not intentionally frayed is their wear. And if you roll it under and make sure that they're not hemmed, oftentimes people will hem their jeans a little bit shorter. I will still pick up hemmed jeans depending on the style. If they're a really nice style or a really high-end brand, I will still do it and just disclose that they've been hemmed. Nike Golf. With the pandemic, golf has really picked up a lot because it's outdoors, and in most areas you can do it a lot of the year. So Nike Golf, most times I will pick up. It's not going to sell for $100, but it is going to consistently sell. Here's another mall brand, Express. Very, very, very rarely will I pick up Express. The reason that I did, guys, this is why I like selling pants. Super easy to look and decide if it's worth it. These are, you see that? These are from 520. So these are about a year old. The last time I found a pair of Express pants that were a year-ish old, they sold like within a week for full asking price, or maybe a very reasonable offer. So definitely worth it there for me. So these are an Anthro brand, or from, I'm not sure if it's Anthro or from that whole like Free People Anthro style, but you can see here, if you're not sure, guys, sorry, this glare. 6'6", if the RN is 6617, it's in that whole Anthro, Free People, Urban Outfitters realm. The reason, I know this brand, but if I didn't, I would have looked it up anyways, because this label, Anthro has a lot of labels that look kind of unique, right? And so that's definitely a reason that I picked that one up. Cut from cloth. Guys, Again, a mall brand, not going to sell super high. I will pick these up. These are a size 10. Their higher styles are going to sell better. And like, this is a boyfriend. Their boyfriend styles sell really well. You know, $20, $30. So not ridiculously high, but definitely moving in and out. So this is what one of the brands, I don't think I've picked up this brand in probably 2 years. You see it fairly often. It retails pretty high-ish. It's Cabby. The reason that I picked this up is they are linen pants, and no, it doesn't have a number. Okay, I was looking to see if it had a year on it. They are linen pants. They look like they've hardly been worn, and they are a wide leg. That style is coming in, especially in like dress pants. It's definitely coming back. These are Chico's. You see it? Okay, so Chico's, the higher ones sell better. So you can see this is a size 2. They aren't listed. When you're listing it, make sure to list it like it converts to A. They have like a weird 0, 1, 2, 3 system that they use, and this converts. So the reason that I got these though is they're like this faux leather pull-on ones that I thought was pretty cool. So another some Lululemon. The thing with Lululemon is they have pull-out tags. So if I'm going through the pants section and there is a tag that is missing, I will oftentimes look at the back. Oftentimes at the bottom, they will have the label as well. If it is missing a tag, most of their items have the tag, the size in it as well. And sometimes it'll even have like their model number and the year and stuff around it. This is probably an older style because it doesn't have that, but it is Lululemon. And they feel like, I'll have to look up the style, but they look like they might be like a warm style. Literally, as we are filming this, I sold a pair of cut from cloth boyfriend for $37 with shipping, including shipping. So they probably sold for like $30, right? So not super high, but hello. So these, again, American Eagle. This is an older style, vintage Y2K, right? I like that they have this in here. It is my boyfriend. So it's going to have that wider leg. The wide leg, the flared, the boot, what's it called? Boot cut? Boot cut is coming back in from the skinny. So be mindful of that. Here is, you guys see that? It's Nike. I mean, I would assume most people probably know the swoosh sign. The thing that I like with Nike, this is a hyper warm, so it does sell a little bit higher because of that. If you look at their labels, most of their tags also have it as well. So that top number, it starts with HO18, which means it's from holiday 18. It's a couple years old, right? We're in 2022 now, so not a full year, but it's 3 years old. So it's one of their newer styles. Nike tends to sell, especially if it's one of their newer styles, or vintage Nike. If you're doing like 90s, any vintage, Y2K and previous. This is North Face. Sorry guys, there's like a weird glare from my windows open. The North Face. So that's an older tag, but it's kind of a unique cardigan. In my size, I might keep it. Let's see, what do you guys think? This is the problem oh my god, I should not have tried this on, guys. Like, look at how cute is that? It has like a little tie. Woo! Should I keep it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. That's one of the struggles, right? Is don't try it on, because once you try it on, then it's like you can't stop thinking about it. This is Nike. It's kids, so it's going to sell a little bit lower. But guys, again, I'm looking at the tag, and that's from fall of 18. It's one of their newer styles. I have sold kids Nike for up to $30, $40. So kid stuff, and it's smaller. It takes up less space. Okay, here's this. So I was going through. I said, okay, there's no tag there. And lo and behold, this. It's an older style. I can tell by it's like a capri boot cut, but those are coming back in, guys. I can't remember what the younger generation is calling them. they have like a new name for them, but they're just yoga pants, right? Like if you're my age, they're just yoga pants. But they have a new name and they are coming back in. So definitely, this is Nike. I actually recognize this. I got some of these in a palette that I sold recently. Well, like last year. So I recognize this style, but it's, you know, if you don't, you can look and say, oh, this was summer of 18. Snow pants. I'm in Colorado. I come across these all the time. And honestly, these are... they'll probably sell for like $30. If they're in good condition, even if they're an older style, snow pants, snow boots, stuff like that sells, I think, because they're so expensive to start with. But I also think a lot of people, like I've had people say, hey, I'm from Florida, I'm going on a ski trip. They don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on all of this gear that they're going to wear, you know, for 1 week on a snow trip. So they'll definitely come to eBay. And then the last one from this haul is... it's Zara again. Like I said, I don't pick up all Zara. The reason I picked these up is they are linen, 100% linen. So those are going to sell at the better quality. If you like this video, check out more videos like it. And then YouTube thinks you'd like this video and make sure to subscribe.